So just a minute. I'll open the Excel sheet. Okay. So Tanishka and Teresa, mm, can you tell your project title?
The stressless.
Uh, can you repeat, sir?
Stressless.
Stressless. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. So you can start with the presentation and you can show the outputs.
So can we start now?
Yeah, you can start.
Yeah, so I'll share my screen. So the Python part, Maria will be explaining, and the HTML part I'll be explaining.
Okay, sure.
So should we
First,
show the
explain
output
the
first?
explain the code, Python code, then go to HTML, then show the output. So it's for everyone. First, explain your Python code, then HTML, then your out. You can show your output.
Okay, so shall I start?
Yes, you can start.
Yes, sir. First, we are importing from Flask, the Flask. Uh, and then from Flask, we are getting a render template and request and URL. Render template is used to show, like load the HTML file. And then request is used to get data from the form. And then URL for it is used to generate a URL for an image that will be later on used in our project. Then we also used matplotlib. It's a library to generate image like graph for graphical representation in Python. Then we are initializing an app. Then through app root, we are starting a home page with stress level web. Called stress level web, and through the methods get, we'll be able to show the like load the form, and through post we'll be able to retrieve the data that is submitted through the form for the further processing. And then in the function, under the function called survey, uh, first we set the result to none and sending to false, and then a variable called result res to 0. Then if method equals to post, like if we get the uh, data from the form, then first we created a list called queue, an empty list, and then we looped it 10 times. And each time in each iteration we got a value like q and in braces I, so that like q1 will have 10 values, q1 to q10, like question 1 to question 10. Then next another list is created called value. For now it's empty. Then again for I in q, like for I in all the question 1 to 10, if I is never, like this part, it will be a drop down that will be shown in the in the web page. And if they select never option, then a variable x will be set to 0, and that will be added to result. And otherwise, if it is rarely or sometimes, often and always, for these 4 options, the value that will be added will be increased by 1. And then and this value of x will be appended to the list called val. Uh, yeah, so this list val also will have 10 elements in it. Then once we have got the total score, if the total score is less than 8, then we'll show the result that their mental health is doing okay, and we'll give an advice as a result, and sending will set to true. And otherwise, if it is between 8, more than 8, and less than or equal to 16, then another result will be set. And in that way, till the maximum score, it will be set. Then next, till after that, we wanted to create a graph showing the stress distribution due to various factors. So another list is created called x-axis, and it has 10 labels of different stress factors. And then another list is created, that is y-axis, and that is just the same as val that was created before, containing the values of each question, the x one that we did. And then using plt.figure, that is from a matplotlib, this line figure, it will start a new canvas uh, to create a new image. And then plt.bar, x-axis and y-axis, like that will create a bar graph, and its x-axis value will be the contents of the x-axis list, and y-axis will have the values of the list called y-axis, and the color of the bar graph is set to light pink. And then plt.x label, it and the name of the like the label of the x-axis is factors, and then plt.x ticks rotation is 35. Normally the words in the of the label of the x-axis will be horizontal, but using this we can rotate it to 35 degrees from the x-axis. And then plt.y label, this is used to label the y-axis. And then plt.title, it will give a name for the whole bar graph. And then plt.savefig, and in that static and a file name, we have created another folder called static, and this image, the bar graph that is generated, will be saved in the static folder in the name of graph.png. And then plt.close, it will like close the figure that we started, so that it will free up the memory space. And then the function is closed, like we are returning the using render template the HTML file, and then result and sending. They are set, and then after that, if name and main app is being run in the last two lines. So I think that's it for backend.
Python, okay, fine. Tanishka, you can explain the HTML. Make it little bit fast.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So in like here we have the like version of HTML, and then the language is like English and the heading part. So this will allow all languages and all kind of symbols in the web application. And this is the like default zoom scale, and like it will be the same if we view it in a laptop or mobile. And this is the title, and the background color, it's light green. And then again we have the heading, know your stress level, and then form method is post. So instead of using break, like I used divide, so we can make different section because we have 10 questions. So we have label, that is question one. So this was like used here in the loop, like question, then one from the range. So, and this is the question. And then it's a required question. And then the it will be taken from the loop and the question is like written here. So we have uh, f- 5 options, like never, rarely, sometimes, often, always. So each of these options have certain values, and according to that we'll calculate the stress level and then give the advice. So the same thing, like we did 10 times because we have 10 questions. And then this is for the image that we're adding, because we are like presenting a graph which like here in the Python file we have like overwhelm, sleep, irritation, focus. So all these things will be presented in the graph. So for that we have created another folder called static. So this is the alignment and then width, height. So the source is like we have used URL for, so it generates the URL, and then from the static folder the file name is like graph.png, and this is the image, like stress distribution, then like which will be presenting in the application. And then at last, so if sending and result, so this checks if the sending and result are present, like if that exists. And then if yes, then it shows the like advice and then the result, and then again and the if. So that's it for the HTML part. I'll show the output now.
Sure, Tanishka. You're sharing your screen. Okay.
So like we have to select the options here. At the beginning, nothing will be shown here.
Okay. So you can answer those and you can show me the output. Can you refresh the page?
Yeah, sir.
Just refresh the page over here.
Yeah, sir, I did.
Okay. I think so. Your screen is stuck for me. Mm.
Oh, so sorry, like by mistake, I paused the like screen sharing.
Okay.
So now I refreshed it again. I selected the options, and then when I click advice, it will be shown here and the advice will be written here. So it's completely not visible, like it like overwhelm is written, but it's not completely visible. Like we tried to increase their width and height, but still it's not visible, like the text. And then the advice is written here. And after we click advice, like all the options that we selected, again it will be set to the first option, like never.
Okay. Well done.
So can I stop sharing my screen?
Yeah, I can stop sharing. Okay, well done, Tanishka and Maria. Next group is just a minute. Angelina and Nitish.
Yes. So 2 minutes. I have some issues.
No issues. Take your time and you can start.
So I started sharing my screen and I'll start.
You can start explaining.
Yes. So we have written in the first line of code from Flask import Flask render request. So in the first line it tells from me.
Nitish, just a minute. Don't explain line by line. Like explain it as a function what it's doing.
Yes sir.
Make it
So
crisp and sharp. But it has to be understandable. Make it crisp and sharp.
yes sir. So from it will. So Flask, this is the name. This is the name of the web application, and import. That means we are bringing the Flask to the program, and so again we have written the Flask. Again we have written the Flask, and so this will help us to create a web page and render templates. Like it help us to create a web page using HTML files, and then here is a request. So this will help us to access the information which we send from our web page when the forms are filled out, and uh, here uh, here it is a name of the web application. So I have given as Nitish, and so Flask Flask name, and it will help us to create a web page, and name will help us to run the files like our web pages.
Nitish, I'll just stop him. Like I'm telling you, like don't explain every line.
Yeah.
Explain it as a function. Like 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8 is there, right? You can explain that as it together. 11 to
Uh,
15, you can explain it as together. Like
okay,
that you
okay.
explain.
Yes. Okay, fine. So in the fourth line, I have written the codes, and it will store the codes. And while you run the code, and it will show the code in the web page. And then here in the 11th line of the code, we have used the yeah. So we have used this. So this symbol will help us. So this symbol will help us to start the app, and this will guide us the path for this. And then here we are using a definition function, and index is the name of the function. Okay, it's by mistake accidentally.
You can press Control Z.
Yes. Okay. Yes sir. So and then here it is a category, like so we are assigning a value of study motivation, and quote equals quote and category. Then it will have a category called study motivation, and then it will return the renew templates, which is v.html, which is the which will help us, which will help the web page. And quote equals quote, it will check that the all the quotes are there inside the code. And then we have used again the app root, and we are using the post method, which will which will help the user when the user writes an input, and will post into the web page. And we have written again def add code. So def is also a definition function, and so in category equals request dot form dot get. So while we just a second. so so category equals request dot form dot get. So while it will give us a form to fill, and it will show like a category, and if we don't write the category, it will print as general, which is common. And text equals it's same as the above line. And in 21st line, here is the author, and we have to write the code in the text, and the author is like we should write the name of the author. and if you don't write the author name, it will print like unknown. So then if text, it will start checking a condition. If category is not inside the codes, if category is not inside the codes, the okay, fine. And the code category equals, just a second. Okay, if category not in the code, this checks the category has been already created in the code list, and code category, then we are using a square bracket. So this will check the list of the specific category we are checking, and then codes category dot append text author. So codes will have some category like study motivation and life motivation. So it will append text and author. So which will fill, while filling the form, it will append to the web page, and code equals text author. So it will check that that the user have uh, fill the form and written render templates. So it will return the result, and we are taking we are rendering template as v.html. It is a HTML file for the Python framework, and then if name equals main, so it will start a condition, and then it will check that the app is running, and the app.run, this will start the web page to run. Yes, so that's it. Now Angelina will explain the
HTML part.
Yes, a second.
Nitish, can you go to the HTML part?
Just a second. Just a second. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, from the start. Okay. So first three line 1, 2, 3 line explain. It declares the document type, that is HTML, and it set the language to the English, and the meta is used to the special, it supports the special characteristics, and the next line is used to the screen size, and title, it is given the motivational quotes, and then from 11 to 16 the it form starts okay, the action is equal to add quotes. It submit the form of data to the server root, and the method post, it is used to send the data to the server. And in here in the form there are three inputs, that is category, text, and author. So category requires text input for the code category, that is inspirational and success, and the text requires text input for the code itself, and the next is author, optional text input for the author of the code, and the submit button submits the code, submit the form, and it is clicked. And the next is if quote. So this syntax is used for logical like conditions and loops. So here the loop, so here each category is a key, and code list is a list of code belonging to the category. So here for each category, it displays a heading with the category name, and it repeats through each code in the code list and displays the code text and author inside the list item. So that's it, the HTML part.
So I'll run the code. Yeah, Angelina sister can continue.
Can you go to the Microsoft, the web page?
Can you
Yeah.
open your browser?
Yes.
Share your complete screen. You're only sharing your Visual Studio Code.
Yes, sir.
So here the motivation quotes and the categories are there, category, quote and author. And here in the first we can add quote. So here we can give category, you can choose any category. And we can add our own quotes in the first part. And the second part is quote and the study motivation and life motivation. Here the quotes are already written. So this is the output of our code. So that's it.
Okay, but yeah, you can show. Can you show the output once again? Sorry. Just a quick question. If there are already codes present, right? So why are you like kind of selecting from the options?
So we are not selecting from the option. We can add, if we need to add any quotes, then we can add the quotes in that options.
Okay, in that category. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, got it. Okay. Thank you, Angelina and Nitish. Next group. Well done. Next group is Jaswin and Kundan. Jaswin and Kundan, yeah. You can start, Jaswin.
Yeah, sir, we were not able to do it as we both had exams going on, and we still have exams till the next week of, till next week, Wednesday, I think so.
Wednesday, right? Okay. I'll talk with you later.
Okay,
We
sir.
have to finish. Okay, sure. Next team is Arufa and Gautam.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You can start
Sir,
presenting.
actually, Gautam also had his exam, sir. He said it will end on 21st, and he was not well.
I'll have discussion with you later also. Abhishek and Mahadev, sir. Abhishek is present, right?
Yes, so my sir is busy, so he can't join. I will explain both HTML and the Python path.
Sure, Abhishek. Yeah, you can start.
So is my screen visible?
No, it's still black. Yeah, it's visible now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sir. So, like as good evening. So as our idea was to create STG based quiz. So here we are importing Flask, everything so necessary to this web page. So the new things that I have added with the that I learned extra is redirect URL session. So request render templates, Flask. You know, I know everybody know who are studying in this level 3. So redirect is directing to the the files, the web pages, the next web pages, like that. So URL for is generating a URL based on this file name. Like if we are moving, if the computer is redirecting to the quiz part, it will be uh, it will be here, it will be showing this URL and slash quiz. So it will be like that. And session is a temporary data which stores scores, current questions like 1 of 10, 2 of 10, like that. So okay, so this thing, so this secret key is a secret key of hiding the session's temporary data. So moving on to the questions, these are the questions. This contains questions and the options too, and the correct ones here also is the present answer. So moving on to the roots. So first the home, which is like the root of the home, defining home, and the render templates returning to the home.html. So next, moving to the app.root start web page, defining start, and here season, which is temporary data, score 0, current score 0. So session questions equals quiz sessions, which is in the form of dictionaries here, and redirecting to the quiz here. Okay, so moving on to the next part, which is app.root quiz get and post method. So defining quiz, and questions equals temporary data to get the questions for the temporary till the user answers the question, and current will be changing from one by one after the user answers. And if current like that, it will is greater or equal, then it will be lengthening the questions one by one, and will be redirecting to results after the all the questions are over. So one thing, there are totally 10 questions. Okay, so it will be showing questions at the current time at there. This is the try except method that I have used here for the value error, type error, the types of errors for here. So time is ticking, so I won't be explaining this, sorry. Okay, so if selected is not none, and if selected equals question is correct, so you will be getting in the temporary data score +1, x plus equals +1, and session there, like if you answer the first question 1 of 10, or next 1 of 2, like that, etc. So it will be redirecting to the quiz.html, question equals question, index equals directed that current +1. So total, it will be lengthening the questions. So here of app.viva, the last root, which is result. So defining result, score equals temporary data to get score from index 0, and total equals lengthening the session dot get questions in the empty list, and it is redirecting to the result.html, and it is score equals score, total equals total, and it is ending here the web page. So moving on to the HTML part. So this is the necessary things of the scaling everything and the languages here. Title, STG quiz, head and the body, and here is a heading, welcome to STG quiz, and here I'm using URL for as like redirecting like URL for start. It's a button. If you press on that button, it will be redirecting to the quiz.html, where there are questions that user need to answer. So here is also the question index, means from 0 of 10, that's of total, means like the two index is from 0 of 10, means 0 of 10, like that, increasing one by one after the increase, means the user answers the question. So here this is questions of question, and form method form is post form method, and here for option question options, means there the option should be displayed. And here, this is an important thing that I learned and I worked on this. This is like displaying the options like a radio form, radio type, name options. So as I said you here, the options are present here everywhere. So here after each question, so it is like looping index 0, the options like it is lastly and for. To submit that, there is a button too, and here it is ending the form body and the HTML. Moving to the result, it is the basic thing here, and the title STG quiz results, head and body, quiz completed, your score, the score will be means of total will be shown there, and it will, the URL will be the home, and there will be also a button named as restart quiz. So if you press restart quiz, you will be redirecting to the first at the start. So shall I run the code?
You can run the code. You're sharing your entire screen, right?
Yes, sir. Am I?
I'm able to see only your Visual Studio Code.
Oh, okay, sir. I will share the screen. Oh. Is the full screen visible now, sir?
Yeah, it's visible, Abhishek. You can start.
Okay. So here is the button as I told, and here are the questions. It seems like the small, like low level questions, but I need to upgrade it like that. So this indexing like 5 of 10, it will be increasing after, and the scores will also be increasing of the correct answers that the user answered like that. So this is, it will be again, if you press this button, the start quiz will be going to the start, the main page. Thank you, sir.
Can you show the score part once again?
Okay, sir, okay.
I wanted the output. Can you show the output?
Okay, sir, okay. So these are the questions, sir. So at the last, if you answer all the questions, it will be showing like the score here that you answered and a button to restart the quiz.
No. Show it in the output itself, in the HTML page.
Oh, HTML page. Here.
Abhishek, I want it like you did this quiz, right? Do the quiz and show me the
Ah.
scoring part once again.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Once again, you're not sharing your screen full screen. You're just showing your Visual Studio Code.
Oh, still here? Okay, sir. I will share full screen. Is it now, sir?
It's visible now, yeah.
Okay, sir. This is
Is it 10 out of 10 every time?
so like it will be based on the questions. So the questions are 10 and you should answer that 10 questions. So this is the score that I have scored.
Even
And
if I
with
answer wrong answer also, like I'll get 10 out of 10.
no, sir, no. So like when I was answering, I answered the correct. So I got 10 out of 10. If I answer the wrong, it will be reducing the points that according to the questions that you have done wrong.
Can you do one score wrong and you can show it to me?
Yeah, one mistake means wrong answer like that. So here it is.
Thank you, Abhishek. So over I showed the outputs today, right? For those everyone, well done. So I'll post this course mm, by tomorrow evening. Okay. So others, like I'll have one more discussion with you guys because you had exams and those kind of things, right? So you had mentioned. So we'll have one more discussion and I'll tell you how to proceed. Okay.
Excuse me,
I'll
sir.
tell you. Yeah, Olivia.
So like I and Sivanath brother had teamed up. So like suddenly he left because he had poor internet connection. So he said that you explain the Python like his is the HTML part and mine is the Python part. So he said that you can explain the Python part, but I won't be there. So personally to Harsha sir, I'll like send the video and the output. So like both are his parts. So my part was Python. So he asked if it was okay, sir.
Okay. You have the complete project code with you.
Sir, only Python, like my part I have. So like he tried, like he said he will share the screen. So I only have my Python codes.
Okay. Can you share your screen and explain that?
Yes, sir, I'll explain. Sir, Okay, so this the first two lines, like it explains about Flask is the framework of building this web application. So this app's name is student quiz app. So it's like not quiz, it's like general knowledge question. Like it asks us the question, and the students or the person who is answering or the user should answer these, and then from Flask input. So Flask is the framework to build the web, and then render template means like it renders the HTML templates like quiz HTML or result HTML and all. Then request is like post means like we have two things, which is post and one more, and then post means like submitting the answers. So it handles the post things to, like it requests it to post or not, like that. And then session, so in this place session is there. So session is like it stores the score and all, like how much the user have answered, that much it will score. And then we have redirect. So redirect is nothing but it like directs it to a different page. So for example, I have my result page, so this direct thing, like it function, it helps in directing it to the result page. And then import random, so import random means that it will show any of the questions. So randomly there will be 10 questions, so in that random 10 questions, the like this random show any 10 of them shuffled. And then in the fourth and fifth line, app dot flask, so it like it says that it creates a Flask app. So this creates a Flask apps in instance, and it requires a security key. And then we have all the from 7 to 19 we have all the questions, all the 10 questions, and the answers are like behind each question. And then in the 21st, it's like it shows app dot root, so it is where it's like the main root from where the quiz runs. So I said that we have two methods in this code. So one is get and one is post. So get means like displaying the question, and then post means submitting the question. So this session function helps the get and post to run. And then we have used definition. After that, if score is not in the session, like then this the session score will be 0. Like the default score is 0. And then we have like it tracks the user score. And then current question, so in the second line, current question is like it shows the index, it tracks the index of the current question. And in 26th line we have question list, so it's like a shuffled list of all the 10 questions. And then 27 is random questions, like it gives random questions, like shuffles questions randomly here. And then 29th is like if we have used if. So this two lines means that if all questions have been answered, then the user is redirected. So the redirected function will be used in here. So if it's if the user answers all the question, then the user is directed to the result page where he gets the score and result. And then in here we have like the current question session of the question list, the shuffle list. And user answer, so this is post, which is submitting the answer. Then the next line, user answer means like it retrieves from the form input. So this user answer retrieves from form input, and it shows in lower case of for comparison. And then answer checking, so if the answer is correct, then the score, like it increases the score, like it if the answer, if I have answered the question correctly, then the score will be adding to one more. And then here in the result, after that this is the store. This 4 lines are the, like 5 lines are related to score of session function. And then we have this render like function in the that is, which is basically used in the templates, HTML templates. And then we have app.root, so this like enables to shows the it shows the user's final score, and not only the final score, it also shows the feedback based on the user's performance. So these are the feedback. So these we have used if else statement, and these are the feedback based on the score. Like keep practicing, good job, and then session dot clear after answering all the questions and results. It will when we press the clear, it clears the session after the quiz ends. And if the user wants, then the user can again return and then refresh it again. And then at last return render template result.html. So it's the result.html page displays the score and the total and the suggestion of or the feedback of what the user has answered. And then at last, this helps in debugging, and then automatically it restarts the server. So this is the code.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Olivia. When will be your teammate be present, will he be available to show the output?
Sir, he's available tomorrow because today now was there is no time. Tomorrow he said he'll send the video, like screen share, and then send it to you personally, sir. So with the output.
I'm checking to that. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So if you have any doubts to your fellow friends, you can ask about their project. Any doubts among yourself, you can ask. Okay, if you're not having any doubts, we can wind up this session. Others, I'll meet you tomorrow. Is that fine?
So we are having exams till next week, so it won't be possible for us to work on it on
Okay.
that.
Okay, then I'll give exception for your team.
Sir, because I am in first PO now, and he's in 9th grade, and both were having exams at the same time, so it won't be possible for us to work on it, and we don't have gaps for exams in middle.
Okay, but in order to pass to level 4, right, you need to do something I can't just pass it out. Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, if there are no doubts, we can wind up this session. What about others?
Even Gautam has exams.
Okay, I will see. I'll just talk to you, the team which are not shown the output.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then I'll inform you about what's about the next class and all. I'll message in the group. So Tanishka, Nitish, and Abhishek team. Arufa has shown explain the Python code. Okay, fine. Yeah. So any questions you have for me, you can ask, or else we'll wind up the session.
So I think it's Olivia who presented the code.
Okay, yeah, Olivia. Yeah, Olivia, it was. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't had doubt about the other group projects, but I just wanted to ask a question. Like, it was about functions and loop. Like, we used loop in our code, like in the Python file. So we had 10 questions. So all of them had the same option. So instead of repeating it, we wanted to just write it once and can use it for the 10 questions as well. So in that case, we used loop because we found like it was easy. So is it better to use loop because it's easy, or like will there be much
It would have been better if you had used functions along with loops. So it would have got like you could have changed those options, right? If you have used functions, you could have changed options also. It's like
yes.
okay. You can explain. I'll explain later.
Like given different arguments and use different options if we use functions.
Was that a question or like are you asking?
I'm asking, like, is that what you meant?
Okay, so as of now, like you have already written the question, you loop through like the body and kind of getting all those questions, right?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, so what you would have done is like you could have written a function. So if you have passed through all these variables at a time, like it would have taken and kind of it would have acted as a loop itself, but at the same time, I'd say function is better, I think so, yeah, because you'll be having control over your iteration and those kind of things. So let's say functions is better, yeah.
So, but like, is there much difference, or like it's easy for us to like handle it if we use functions?
Okay. If you are doing for large scale, right? Large like 100 questions or something like that, for example. So at that time, like you can't use this writing question, storing it somewhere, and like kind of use loop and all, right? So that time function comes in handy. So for small, like whatever you did as of now, it's fine.
Oh, yes.
Are there any other doubts?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Nitish.
Do we have results for our project?
Yeah, results is there. Like because I need to pass to level 4, right? Next phase. So I'll be sharing that tomorrow.
Results. Okay, fine, sir.
So this one I'll be scoring based on what is it? Based on your creativity. Then like how you used whatever you have learned till now, how you have used that one. Based on that one, I'll score. It's not about like how good it is and all. So it's just how you learned and how you kind of implemented that one.
Yeah, okay, fine, sir.
Okay.
So can we leave?
Yeah, I can leave.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.